The topic around illegal foreigners in South Africa is almost getting more heated every week. And it's way more complicated than many people think. There are many different stakeholders and many people are not having honest chats about what's going on. I've made submissions, I've made videos in the past. You know, I've acknowledged that I'm a flip-flopper. And more than anything, I need you guys to understand that my voice is compromised. I'm not to be trusted. Whether you are a patriotic South African, whether you are a legal foreigner based in South Africa, whether you are an illegal foreigner based in South Africa, you cannot trust my voice because I'm compromised. I'm compromised because I have friends, business associates, and people I care about across these different groups that I've just mentioned. There are many patriotic South Africans who have suffered either through violent crime, through theft, through some type of assault by illegal foreigners being in South Africa. It is true that many South Africans cannot access certain jobs because of foreigners being here. You can call them names, of which some of the politicians have done so. But the reality is, if you didn't have undocumented foreigners in restaurants, driving scooters, cutting hair, etc., South Africans would need to fill that gap. But they can't, because there are illegal foreigners that are taking those spaces. On the other side, there are legal foreigners who I have a very, I feel very sorry for, because they caught in the crossfire. People that went through the difficulty of getting their papers, whether it's a study permit, whether it's a work permit, whatever the case may be, to ensure that they are in South Africa legally. And they follow protocol. Today, because they happen to be from the DRC, they happen to be from Nigeria, they happen to be from India, they happen to be from Eastern Europe, they happen to be from South America, they get caught up in the crossfire with people that are not in South Africa legally. And I feel sorry for them, and it's sad that some of them get attacked as well. Then there are the illegal foreigners. Of course, you guys shouldn't be here. You bribe your way in, you sneak your way in. There are jokes about Nahabangela cost. You are riding on a crocodile to get in here, but you shouldn't be here. A lot of you are here for noble reasons. You wanted a better life for yourself, for your family. In the same way, I'm originally from Newcastle, Matadeni, in KZN. But I'm in Johannesburg now because I wanted a better life. Luckily, I didn't have to bribe anyone. I didn't have to falsify documents. I didn't have to jump over fences or swim through rivers to get here. I'm a South African, so I'm legally allowed to be in Johannesburg. I can go to Cape Town. I can go to the Eastern Cape. Doesn't matter. You from Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Lesotho, Eswatini, Zambia, Tanzania, the DRC, Sudan, Rwanda, you shouldn't be here. So it's very sad that you had to come here because your governments have let you down. And now we are watching the South African government let down ordinary South Africans in trying to maintain the rule of law. A rule of law that wasn't set by ordinary South Africans, by the way. Ordinary South Africans, the majority black, they didn't draw the borders. They didn't draft the constitution. They didn't set the laws around immigration. This was set by the colonialists, who handed it over to the Afrikaners, who handed it over to the ANC. Today we've got a government of national unity, and you're listening to all the politicians basically flip-flop around the idea of immigration. Jacinta Ngobese Zuma, Phakelele Mthakathi, Ngizwe Mchunu, and other faces and voices, March and March, Operation Tudula and the like. Even Action SA, of which Zandile Dabula, who was the president of Operation Tudula, has joined. They are trying to speak out about this, but it's so complicated. On top of that, I made a video about the 75,000, I think it's 75,000 refugees we have in South Africa who are recognized, who are legally allowed to be here from Burundi, Rwanda, South Sudan, Zimbabwe, and other parts of Africa, the DRC. Some people are asylum seekers. They haven't received their official refugee status, but it's debatable whether they should be here or not. We don't have refugee camps, thanks to the government. Why am I making this video? I'm making this video, man, for people that aren't in an extreme camp. You're not a legal foreigner. You're not an illegal foreigner. You're not a refugee. You're not one of those very, very angry South Africans who are like, Abahambe, and you're like, it doesn't matter what it takes. 30 June, Baba. You're not one of them. You're just literally like, guys, I don't understand what's going on. Now, Ghanaians have been taken. Some of them were left behind because they didn't have paperwork. So ironic. Other embassies are calling South Africa xenophobic. Global media platforms are calling us xenophobic. Some foreigners here are saying, but guys, there is xenophobia. I'm experiencing it. Why are you guys defending people? Some are saying today it's foreigners, tomorrow it's going to be people from Limpopo who don't look like Amazulu. Now tribalism is being inflamed. South Africa was created like a company to serve the British Empire. People like Cecil John Rhodes, people like Ernest Oppenheimer, people like Barney Banato and others became the face and the head boys, as it were, to serve the British Empire. From them, the Afrikaners came together and then they overthrew government. And I guess they became the best representative for the British Empire. I mean, Jan Smuts was loved by the British. Many Afrikaners find him to be a very polarizing character. And then the ANC and other liberation movements came over and they overthrew the National Party. Not officially overthrew, there was a negotiated settlement with CODESA. And we see today that not much has changed for the black person. Some social welfare here and there, you know, some houses, some free schooling, some healthcare. It's impressive. Billions of rands spent every year. But the essence of what it is that people were fighting for has not been met. Land has not successfully been given back to its rightful owners. Black people have not been successfully, through education, educated around how the economy works, how politics works, how the law works. So we find ourselves here. And in the mix of dealing with white racism, white supremacy, white people who still majority own the economy and the land, we also now have to fight with a minority of Indians who were given some type of better status, better. They were still oppressed under apartheid. Then there's fighting with them who also qualify for BEE. And then you have to bring in this whole mix of foreigners, legal and illegal, of which the white and the Asian foreigners are difficult to see. So black people end up fighting for what is close to them, what is in proximity. They see foreigners in front of them where they stay in townships and squatter camps. But we live in a company, and this company's got shareholders. And until we have a real conversation around who owns this company called South Africa, the Oppenheimers, the Ruperts, the Mutsipes, Global Capital, BlackRock, Fidelity, State Street, Glencore, the big mining bosses, the big farming houses, including ZZ2, Karen Beef, Wilder Clover, and other big companies in South Africa, until we confront that. And then you got the gambling guys, you know, your Martin Marshals and the like. You've got your Michael Leroux of Capitec. These are the guys that are funding your government to take care of you, to keep you guys quiet. And not only do they use that with tax money, they use it also with the army and the police. They can suppress and threaten you. They can put you in jail. They are not held by the same laws. We see it with the politicians. They never really held to account. They are the caretakers on behalf of the rich. The rich fund them. They give them money. Abo Aspen, Abo Stephen Saad, Abo Adrian Go, Abo Discovery. They assist Abo Ramaphosa. Those are the people that in this company that is used to mine, to farm, to manufacture, to retail, to export, to make a few people rich while giving you guys crumbs to keep you quiet. They are the reason we have immigration issues here, because it serves them to have zamazamas here mining for much cheaper than a formal mine, which they then sell to the big mining houses to then off-sell and make more profits. It serves the big companies to have illegal foreigners riding scooters and working in restaurants and manufacturing and the like. It's much cheaper labor for them because they can no longer exploit black labor as they did under apartheid and British colonialism. It serves them. And the black government has become Animal Farm. They've become the pigs in Animal Farm. And they are no different to white supremacy because they serve white supremacy and minority wealth. It is so complicated, and we're going to fight each other. And by the time we wake up, nothing will have changed because the people that are in power will remain in power and get us to constantly fight each other. Men versus women, locals versus foreigners, legals versus illegals, etc., 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 even tribalism. Sad. The Black Pen.